Welcome to another episode of Is This for Kids? I am Jonathan Beard of Blevins, husband and father of 4, and I think that most media marketed towards children is turning them into demigorgons.
Demigorgons. That's funny. I am Katie, MrsRuvi. I am married and I have 5 kids from teenagers down to little tiny preschoolers. And I think that a lot of the media marketed to kids can be redeemed, but I think it's essential that parents know what is going on, which is the backbone of today's episode.
So do I, by the way.
Yeah, totally. It's the backbone of today's episode. Usually we're going through content to let you know what's in there you want to shield, share, and shepherd your kid with. But today we are going to be talking about some gaming phrases that parents need to know. I prefaced this with a story. We have a mutual acquaintance, probably more of a friend for you, a guy named Jason Everett, who does talks around the country. And he was talking at a conference that I was at last summer about kids. He had a family that he was hanging out with, a good Catholic family with lots and lots of kids. And the kids came in and they said, "Mom, can I play GTA?" And the mom's like, "Sure." Because she doesn't know what GTA is. And she knows she's raised her kids in the faith and that they're good, kind kids, and that she's got all these reasons to believe that it's going to be fine. And so she says, "Sure, you can go play GTA." Not realizing that GTA is Grand Theft Auto, a game where you are encouraged to steal and pick up sex workers and harm them physically and
break the law and
get chased by cops, and you get extra points for however deviant you are, right? Anybody who's on the internet playing a lot of games knows what GTA is, but good, well-meaning parents don't. I tested this theory. We had a live talk that we did, and I was on a group of parents, and I was like, I was hearing that parents don't even know what GTA means, and the just blank looks on the faces of these parents, because this isn't the world that they inhabit. They don't play video games. So they hear GTA and they think, what is it, kid? It's a racing game. Sure, you can go play a racing game. What could go wrong? So you got to know a little bit about what's out there.
I thought it was the great Fall Out Boy song, Grand Theft Autumn.
Oh my goodness. You're so cute.
Thank you.
Oh,
it's a great album.
So yeah, GTA, COD, these are terms for games. And so these are the kinds of terms that I think parents need to know. But I'm getting a little more granular in today's episode.
I love that. Disclaimer. Ruvi plays video games. Her husband plays video games. I play video games kind of for a living. We have lots of parent friends who play video games. So when she says parents aren't playing video games, she means most. And that's true. Even parents who are playing Madden, NCAA, they're not super caught up with a lot of the lingo that you're going to share today.
Yeah,
which is important.
Lots of games that you could be playing with your kids that wouldn't include these terms, or that you just don't know about. And so it's just, or if your kids are just now getting into it, this is not me saying that you're a bad parent. It's just these are things you need to have your eyeballs out for.
100%.
They're not always going to be bad. All right, so the first thing, the one that I told you and you were like, that's not real, is VC. Now,
the Viet Cong.
The Viet Cong. Yeah, that's it.
That's literally what I thought.
The kids are tweeting about the Viet Cong. No, so VC is voice chat. It's an abbreviation for voice chat. You'll often see it in text messages with your kids, like hop in VC, hop in voice chat. They want you to. This means that your kid is talking to someone online with their voice, not with their fingers. So things that parents don't realize is that Xbox controllers and PlayStation controllers now have built-in microphones.
Yep.
So you don't have to buy your kid a headset with a microphone for them to be talking to the people they're playing games with. It's built in, and they can hear them through the speaker. There is voice chat in many, many, many games. So if you're not comfortable with your kid talking online, or if you see VC come up in your kids' text messages and you're like, what does this even mean? It's a pretty good indicator your kid is chatting with strangers on the internet.
Yes. Or friends that you don't know of or approve of, either way.
Or friends you do approve of. This is a time, we're not saying that this has to be a bad thing. It's just something to be aware of and to follow up on, right? Okay, so that leads to the next thing, which is Discord. I'm surprised by the number of people that don't know what Discord is and how hard it is for me to even explain Discord to people.
Yep.
But Discord is a chat server, basically. Think of a 90s message board where people drop messages and then people drop it below it. And it's sort of like a 90s chat room with various different channels that have to do with things. And usually each Discord is associated with a specific person. So I had one, as I still do, as a Twitch streamer. You would join the MrsRuvi Discord, and that was where you went to chat about or with MrsRuvi. John has one for Beard of Blevins, and people go to chat about the things that go on in your games or the sports or whatever it is that you're doing, right? Within Discord, there are VC channels, there are voice chat channels where you can type out things or you can join. And then this is a way that people have games that don't have a voice chat option. to be able to have voice chat. Now, there's lots of really great ways to use Discord. We, in my community, have used it to play video games. Like during COVID, there's a lot of people who don't play like, Fortnite or whatever, the normal video games. We would play a game called Jackbox, which is basically like a party game, but you're not near each other. So you can get into a voice chat and chat, and it's fun and it's cool, but it's just important to know what it is.
It is. I will say we probably should do, I'm just getting this idea now, an entire episode on Discord.
Really?
Because there's so much that happens on there. And you think of Musical.ly was like the app before it became TikTok that every parent who was trying to keep up with keeping their kids safe would just roast Musical.ly.
Yeah.
Because there was a lot of weird stuff happening on there. There's a lot of weird stuff happening on Discord. So be very careful. We should probably do a whole episode on it, but it's important to know what it is.
Yeah, knowing what it is. So if you're looking for the icon, does your kid have it on their phone? It looks like a game controller with giant eyeballs, basically. Yep. And it's blue, sort of like a purpley blue color, and that's what it is. So if you see that on your kid's phone, that's what it is. And if you're not sure if your kid has it or if that icon is missing, you can actually just, like on an iPhone, flip down and type Discord. Like you scroll down and then it'll give you
up.
Yeah, you can type it, find it.
You can also have it on your PlayStation, on your Xbox now. So
yeah, you can have it on lots of things. It's not necessarily a bad thing. I have a Discord. It's delightful, but it's something to be aware of. All right, so this is a term that I think a lot of parents will think they know what it means, and they really don't. Grinding. If you're
baby grind on me.
Not it at all.
That was pretty Ricky Mad Boy and the Mavericks, by the way.
In fact, the first time my kids told me like, oh yeah, I've been grinding all night, I'm like, what's happening? I have questions. What? Grinding is a term that just refers to playing a game for the purpose of getting experience. So if you're an old-timey gamer like me, you would call this XP farming, like just trying to get experience for your character, either to get points or to get better at the game or to get some sort of like, in-game benefit, level up your character, that kind of thing. But the term grinding is not a sexual term in most gaming contexts.
Yeah, I'm glad you said to get better, because that is probably the context I hear it the most, is you're grinding something means you're putting a ton of time into something.
Yes. And so if your kid is telling you like, I've been grinding Fortnite, that might be one of those things that you want to put your little ears up and be like, hey, wait a minute, you're only supposed to be on Fortnite 1 hour a day. How are you grinding? Like, I have questions. And it's just a term to let you know that your kid probably needs to be checked in with, right?
Yep.
For how much. But, my son has been grinding his ollies on his skateboard, and that's fine. Like, he's outside just doing the best he can to figure out how to do a kickflip.
You can also literally grind on a skateboard.
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah. But they'll use that term for anything in life. They'll be like, man, I've been grinding algebra this
grinding
week.
At the gym. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's just working hard at something. All right. So your next term or phrase that parents need to know, and this is going to be really specific to certain kinds of games, but in my opinion, those kinds of games are the highest risk for kids, and it is guild or clan. If your kid is talking about being in a guild or a clan, these are people that they are playing online with regularly, a lot of the time, and spending a lot of time with, so much so that they have formed a little club where like my guild, I used to hear this in terms of like World of Warcraft all the time, where they would say, my guild is going to go on a raid tonight and I have to be there. Yeah. Can't take you out on a date, Katie. I'm so sorry. We have to go raid somebody's
experience.
Something.
I see. Yeah.
I'm not saying that it happened to me with multiple boyfriends, but it did. Anyway, so if your kid is involved with a guild or clan, you need to know that they have an online community of people that they are very, very close to. That is not necessarily a bad thing,
right?
But it is if you're not involved. Look at me, parents. If your kid is closer to someone online than they are to you, this is a problem, okay? So they don't have to leave the guild. They don't have to leave the clan, but you need to be in, like, how are we meet? Are we doing a Discord for this clan? Like, are we talking together? I would like to be in it as your mom, get involved. How are we doing? You good?
You're doing great.
All right. One more term that I think a lot of parents know and they'll think is a little weird to be in a gaming context, but it's NSFW. N as in Nancy, S as in Sierra, F as in Foxtrot, W as in Whiskey. This is a term that comes up in Discord servers a lot. They'll be labeled as NSFW, and it means not safe for work. And if you're thinking, my 12-year-old doesn't go to work, what's not safe? Is this an OSHA violation? No, this means it's porn. We're talking about porn 99.9% of the time. If your kid is in an NSFW conversation, if they have an NSFW email coming in, a text message that's labeled thusly, it is a pornographic situation. There's something in there that's not appropriate.
Or wildly violent stuff that they should not be seeing.
Yeah.
Terrorist
that would
videos.
Be the 0.1%.
Yeah.
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 Ugh, yeah, I forgot that exists.
Yeah, that's the thing. And that is one of the things we will do a whole episode on Discord, I think, soon, because that is something that happens a lot on Discord.
A lot.
And it's something you have to actively join and go to. So there's plenty of great Discords like you're talking about, but the horror stories that I've heard from different streamers, even sometimes a streamer will get so big that there's channels within the Discord that even the streamer doesn't know exist because there's so many moderators they can have. And so there might be an entire not safe for work section in some of these really big streamers' Discords. And so just something to absolutely be aware of.
Yeah. Again, none of these things are things you need to absolutely get your kid away from.
Except for the NSFWs.
The NSFW, for 100%. Get their kid away from that. But like, these are the kinds of things you should be aware of and be involved in. More often than not, your kids can be involved in stuff like guilds or like, you know, a Discord server and be safe and fine as long as they have a good relationship with their parent and their parent is aware of what's going on. So know these phrases, use these phrases, and reach out to your kids about them.
Yeah, very smart. I will say most of my parent friends are not very familiar with everything you just shared.
Yeah.
And they should be.
Yeah, these are very, very, very common with kids. Even like kids who don't game a lot. Discord is like there are Discords for makeup streamers or like makeup YouTube tutorials for makeup people. They have Discords where people go in and post their pictures of their face and they're like, did I do a good job on this? And then people are like, ha, I'm a pervert and I've stolen your picture.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. Be careful.
Good stuff, Ruvi.
Hey, thanks. If they liked this episode, where could they find this and other things that we do?
We're going to be doing a lot more episodes like this because I think it's really important and it's hard for parents to keep up with everything that's happening in this crazy changing world. But go to isthisforkids.com and in particular, go check out our Instagram and let us know what you want us to talk about next.
Yeah.
There's a lot of the stuff happening on a lot of different social media apps with words and phrases that are hard to keep up with. And we do our best to keep up with it so that we can inform you.
Hey, there is just so much going on out there for us parents to know about.
I'm Jonathan Beard of Blevins.
I'm Katie, MrsRuvi. Let us help you decide.
Is this for kids?